Ludicrous feed is proudly sponsored by Carloop, Australian EV Data and Ownership Trends, Koba Car Insurance, Pay Per Kilometre, Wallbox, EV Charging Solutions, and Evee, hire electric vehicles from real owners. Morning everyone, this is our 2023 Tesla Model Y, and I'll be reviewing the holiday software update for 2023. Now I know I'm a bit late with this update. That's because I've been in Japan for the last 2 weeks on holidays. So I'm back now and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the features that came with the new software update. So this version is technically 2023.44.30.5.1, but the actual update, holiday update, was 2023.44.30. The .5.1 version just has minor fixes and improvements. So let's just go through .30 one by one. So first one is Apple Podcasts. If you listen to Apple Podcasts, this is a great update because now you can sync with your favorite Apple devices with Apple Podcasts app, and then you can obviously do your shows, your episodes, your podcasts, etc., and then see what's trending and so on. I don't technically use Apple Podcasts. I use Spotify more often, so this doesn't apply to me so much. But if you want to do this from the application launcher, open the Apple Podcasts app, scan the QR code, and log in with your Apple ID. Premium connectivity is required, so note that. So let's have a look. So now you can look at Apple Podcasts, which has got a blue dot because it's new. And then you can just sign in using the QR code and logging into your Apple account. So let's have a look at that right now. Okay, so I've signed in with my Apple ID. It was pretty easy, actually. The car refreshed itself when I signed in with my iPhone. And you can see the podcasts are now available here, including, of course, the Ludicrous Feed Live podcast. So that is good to know. Okay, so next up is Castle Doombad game. So if you like to play games in your car, especially when you're supercharging, I guess, then you can do that. So again, you go to Arcade. So let's go to Arcade right there, and then you've got Castle Doombad. Requires a game controller. So you can do that using Bluetooth or plug into the USB glove box in the glove box. It also tells you how big the installation file is now, so 181.6 megabytes. You can also uninstall it if you don't want it. Okay, next one is Tesla Arcade games. So there's a few updates to the current games, like Beach Buggy Racing. You've got new tracks. Then you've got Polytopia Diplomacy update. You've got an update to the Vampire Survivors Chilling game. That's actually quite a good game, the Vampire Survivors one. It's very addictive. And then you can also now pair PS4, PS5, and Xbox controllers. Now it's got the rumble effect too. So again, I've done a video on this previously. You can Bluetooth pair it. Instructions are pretty clear as well. Next one is Trip Planner on the mobile app. So let me show you this. Location, navigation, enter destination. For multiple stops, simply edit trip, add stop, and then the trip planner will include charging stops along the way. It does require Tesla app 4.27.5 plus to add multiple stops to a trip. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so here's my Tesla app, and don't worry, that's not my house. That's just the local car park that I'm parked in right now. If I go to location there, and if I just navigate, let's put Melbourne. We're in Sydney currently, so let's see, Melbourne, Australia. Okay, then from here it'll tell you where to stop and what state of charge to expect and how long to stop for each time as well. So it's telling me 4 stops to Melbourne: Goulburn, Gundagai, Holbrook, and Euroa. You can also edit the trip. So for example, if I wanted to add a stop here, let's do that. Let's type in something like, I don't know, let's type in Canberra. Why not? Canberra, Australia. Okay, press done. So there you go. You can stop in Canberra along the way. Oh, actually, that's got Canberra afterwards. So if I wanted to stop in Canberra in between, I can just move it up like this. Let's move Canberra up. Okay. And then press done. Should recalculate. Recalculating. There you go. Got stops along the way like that. And then let's send to the car. So let's do this. Should pop up here. I can see something happening in the background, so let's pull this down. So what you saw on the phone should mirror on the screen there. Yep, it's good. So yeah, you can play with the app on the phone and send it to the car if needed as well. That's quite handy. That's one thing about Tesla. The trip planning is pretty much second to none currently in the EV market. Okay, next one is alternative routes while driving. See alternative routes in navigation and switch routes even after you've started driving. While driving, choose the map mode at the top right or tap the next turn to switch to the navigation overview and choose which route you want. So let's play with that for a little bit. Oh, let's close that. Okay, so let's navigate to, let's say, let's navigate to Sydney City. Well, Sydney CBD. There we go. Yeah, and it's got alternative routes. So let's see whether we can press that one. Yeah, so if you wanted to go that one, you can, or that one, you can. And apparently, when you start driving, you can even change it along the way. So let's do that. I just start the car. Okay, put a PIN code in, and then put drive in. What did it say? You can press that, and then you can switch to another route as you're driving as well, which is nice. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, next one is more cameras in live camera view. When you view your vehicle surroundings from the Tesla app, now you'll have access to the left and right pillar cameras on your vehicle touchscreen. Go to Controls, Safety, View Live Camera via mobile app. You can view from the app on your phone. Live camera is end-to-end encrypted and can't be accessed by Tesla. Requires Tesla app 4.27.5 and above and premium connectivity, so that's important. So let's go to Controls, Safety, and that is enabled, so that's good. So let's have a look at the phone as well. So on my phone here, got down here says view live camera. So let's press that. Oh, right, so I can't be in the car at the same time. So let's hop out and have a look. Okay, so I've stepped out of my car and you can see now all the different cameras showing up on the Tesla app. And then you can also select which camera you want. So the new cameras that are available to select are now these ones, these pillar cameras. So that's sort of looking forward from that side. You can see me coming into shot pretty soon. There I am. And that is the camera right there. So this is the one they're referring to on the side of the car. So there I am. I'll just walk a bit closer to it and zoom in on it too. So there I am, recording in real time. And there's one on the other side of the car too. So that's quite nifty. Okay, so next one is automatic blind spot camera. The blind spot camera now alerts you with red shading along the edge when your indicator is on and your vehicle detects an object or another vehicle in your blind spot. Go to Controls, Autopilot, Automatic Blind Spot Camera. So let's check that out. Controls, Autopilot, Automatic Blind Spot Camera. So that's good. Now the new Tesla Model 3 Highland has got the blind spot monitoring already. It's got like a little red dot here on this pillar, which obviously the older cars don't. So now you've got this blind spot monitoring with the red flash. We'll go for a drive a bit later on to show you what I mean by that. New light show. So go to Toy Box, light show, and you can now play multiple custom light shows from the same USB flash drive. Simply save the show files to a directory named light show on your flash drive, connect and choose. So let's go to Toy Box and schedule show. So we've got 3 now you can play from the options. Volume, schedule time, dance moves on or off, and then you can schedule with other people as well, which is good if you want to create one of those light shows you see on the internet sometimes. Okay, what else have we got? So autopilot suspension. Oh yes, this one's an important one. So basically the long and short of it is if you don't pay attention, so to start with, autopilot, Tesla will ask you to wiggle the steering wheel every now and then just to make sure you're still alive and awake. If you ignore those warnings, then you will get what they call a forced autopilot disengagement, or what we commonly call as an autopilot strike. If you receive 5 of those, then basically well, first of all, you get 1 strike. You don't get to use autopilot for the remainder of that trip. Now, if you get 5 strikes, your autopilot will be suspended for 1 week, and you have to go into the naughty corner. So that's that's quite harsh now. But to be fair, I have not. Well, no, I've received maybe 1 strike in the last 7, 8 years I've been driving Tesla. So that takes quite a bit of effort to ignore the warnings. They make it pretty clear you need to wiggle the steering wheel. You get that big red steering wheel icon popping up as well. So it's pretty clear. If you force disengage yourself, like you just want to disengage because you want to change lanes or whatever, that's not counted. It's when the car's computer disengages for you, that's counted as a strike. And 5 of those strikes means you'll be suspended for 1 week. And finally, let's have a look at some minor updates. So now you can shuffle your Tidal playlists. In Apple Music and Spotify, you can now show your account profile to indicate which account you're using. When you use Control Search on the touchscreen, your results now include links to entries in the owner's manual, in addition to the results within the settings. So you can learn more about each function and feature. Your vehicle now adjusts to the power level of each DC charging station. That's interesting. So battery conditioning when you're navigating to a charger and then charging can be more efficient. Does that mean preconditioning for non-Tesla chargers? I'll have to check that out. When you search the vehicle map for charging locations, you can now filter between 2 charging speeds. 3 lightning bolts shows locations with more than 70 kilowatts, and 1 lightning bolt shows locations with 70 kilowatts or less. So let's have a look at that one. Okay, so let's check that out. Let's go to navigate. Let's go to charging. Okay, so now you can filter between 1 bolt and 3 bolts. So if you have 1 and 3 bolts, then everything comes up. If you just want the faster ones, then all the superchargers come up. Don't see any non-Tesla DC chargers yet. If I filter just with 1 bolt, then all the AC chargers pop up. Let's try plugging in a non-Tesla DC charger. For example, the one in Chatswood. That's our closest one. And does it precondition? It doesn't, because maybe because my state of charge is too high, or maybe that function isn't there just yet. Might try a charge box that's further away. All right, let's try this one here in Goulburn. That's a bit further away, obviously. Let's see what happens. Does it precondition? Okay, so it doesn't precondition. Okay, if I put into drive. Okay, let's go. Okay, it's still not preconditioning. So it looks like it's not available just yet, that preconditioning function, or maybe because my state of charge is too high. So I will do further testing with that function. And also maybe because it will only start preconditioning when I get closer to my destination. So again, further testing is required. Alright everyone, that's software update 2023.44.30.5.1, which is mainly just 44.30 with minor fixes and improvements. And again, apologies for the late update. I've been away, but I'm back now. So let's go for a quick drive just to check out that blind spot monitoring function. Alright, so I'm going to head off for a haircut, and I'm going to demonstrate some of these features, hopefully, on this drive. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to show the autopilot attentiveness that they talk about. So let's double tap. You can also single pull now, by the way. I leave it on double because if you leave it on single, then you can't actually activate cruise control, which I do like in some situations too, but let's do double tap for now. It is double demerit points as well in New South Wales over the long weekend. So, of course, you need to have your hands on the wheel at all times, and let me just get up to 80 kilometers an hour first. Okay, to match that, I just pull that stalk all the way down. If you don't, after a while, if you don't listen to what they say, or if you have your hands off the wheel, so I'm just going to have it slightly off, then some warnings will come up. I'll show you what that means. As we drive. Now as I'm driving, I'm sure it'll make a liar out of me and not come up with any warnings. But traditionally, there are warnings which say, you know, hang onto the wheel or nudge the wheel slightly. Actually doing pretty well today. Going right between the lines here. Watch how everyone's driving perfectly today because it's double demerits. Beautiful blue sky here in Sydney. We're very lucky. Oh, this is hilarious. There hasn't been a nudge in a while. I'll just match the speed limit. Anyway, I can show you this one. If I think that's because my cameras are up. If I pull the cameras down, if I try to change lanes now, see that? There's a red spot that comes up before. Just briefly, you saw that, right? So that's kind of like the blind spot monitoring. That's good, I guess. I don't usually look at the screen when I'm indicating, because I use the mirrors, because the screen's kind of like there. It's a bit harder to see as opposed to having it in front of you, but now that with the red bar there, that actually piques my interest a bit more now. So in this whole time, I have not seen any autopilot warnings. Now that wasn't a forced disengagement by the computer, that was just a forced disengagement by me, so that doesn't actually count, because I broke it to change lanes, and that's okay. Now I've given the car behind me quite a bit of clearance to change lanes, and so the red bar doesn't come up. But if I tried to change lanes with the car right next to me, then I assume the red bar will come up. I'll try and do this safely to give you a better demonstration of it. But let me just put autopilot, or let's put cruise control autopilot back on. Okay. Everyone's driving exactly to the speed limit today. Yeah, not a single warning yet. How funny is that? Those warnings, by the way, aren't disengagements either. They're just warnings which you have to attend to. Alright, so this car here next to me. It's funny. It didn't come up again. It's probably not as sensitive as it should be. Other cars I've driven with blind spot monitoring, even if the car is right next to you or just in front of you, it'll still come up. Alright. Anyway, you saw that brief red flash come up on that earlier episode when I was indicating to change lanes. Okay, well, you get the idea. I'm sure those who watch my channel regularly will have seen the autopilot warnings come up previously. It's just a little grey bar that comes up here to show you that you need to pay attention or wiggle the wheel or something. And now if you ignore that and you get autopilot disengaged for the remainder of your drive, that's normal. But then if you do that 5 times, you will be suspended for a week for autopilot. So that's the new change for this update. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to try and show you one more time with this blind spot monitoring. Even if I do it now, still hasn't come up. Interesting. Let's see if I can get past this car. Okay, so that side was not coming up at all, actually, the red bar. And I definitely had the setting on before I showed you. But we did see it once, that's important. Anyway, stay tuned for future drives on the channel. You should be able to see that in a future update video. Thanks everyone, until next time, happy charging.